Well, good morning, everyone. This morning we are celebrating our usual September return to regular services. There will be a water communion, and we'll also install our new Board of Trustees. And for those of you at home, now is a good time to get your chalice and your water ready for water communion and a container for you to pour it into. You know, now we are at 10 years since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report came out. 10 years, a whole decade. And what do we need to remember? I've pulled out a few things from their definition just as reminders for us. Reconciliation is about establishing and maintaining a mutually respectful relationship between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal peoples of this country. In order for that to happen, there has to be awareness of the past, an acknowledgement of the harm that has been inflicted, atonement for the causes, and action to change behavior. Not a trend, not a statement, not about blame. It's continuous, the responsibility of each of us of acknowledging and respecting rights and titles, respect for Indigenous beliefs, cultures and traditions and worldviews, and so much more. Above all, it is about building relationships. So let's hope we can work towards those goals.
Good morning and welcome to Westwood Unitarian this morning. We are so glad to be gathered together with you. Westwood is a compassionate community of free religious thought, inviting all people to rest, grow, and serve the world. This morning's service is one of tradition and ritual. We call it ingathering because many Westwoodians take a break over the summer, and this is the service that marks the beginning of a new season and a new year. We will install our new Board of Trustees and join together for the water communion ritual. And of course, we will sing. Welcome once again to Westwood.
This morning, as always, our service is a collaborative effort. Your service leaders are the incoming Board of Trustees. You will meet most of us formally in the board installation pretty soon. Dean Wood will lead us through this ritual. Our musician today is Rebecca Patterson. Tech hosting is being provided by Hannah and Julie, with backup from Bill Lee. For people on Zoom, if you have a chalice or candle nearby and wish to light it for the service, now is the time.
These are words from Reverend Deborah Falk. A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, a faith built on the foundations of freedom, reason, and welcome, a faith sustained by acts of kindness and justice, a faith that envisions a world flourishing with equality for all people, a faith that demands the living out of goodness, a faith that requires thoughtfulness, a faith of wholeness. This tiny flame is the symbol of the spark of all this within each of us. Please join in singing Come, Come, Whoever You Are. The lyrics are on the screen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dean Wood, and I'm a longtime member of this congregation. And I'm honored to be called upon to lead the installation of our Board of Trustees this morning. Today, we mark a transition in the life of this community from last year's board to this year's board. Members who accept a position on our Board of Trustees care deeply about Westwood and are able, at this time in their lives, to contribute significant time and effort to help our community to live up to our purpose. This is our Board of Trustees for 25-26. And please rise as I call your name and remain standing. Lorian Kennedy, President. Margaret Schubert, Vice President.
Yeah, have to stand. Just not Lorian.
Mitch Walden, Secretary. Jacqueline Willette, Treasurer. Pamela Bungie, Trustee. And Katie Stipke, Trustee. Katie was on the screen and will be on again, I'm sure. So in a free religious community, service is an expression of our commitment and love. And to be asked to lead in this community is the highest honor. This morning, the members of Westwood, you have chosen to lead you in the coming year, stand before you. The relationship between a congregation and its board is one of deep respect and mutual regard. You have asked them to take on the sacred work of discernment and guidance. They need you to support them in the work, share ideas and concerns in love, and to offer them trust as they fulfill their office faithfully. The work of our community is the work of its people. It is the work of building the world in which we dream. It may require time spent poring over budget documents, spend hours in meetings with small details are hashed out. It may manifest in shared laughter or outright frustration from time to time, but always it is sacred. for it is the pursuit of beloved community. Service is an act of faith. Service done faithfully in love is the work of justice and community building. This is what you've asked of these people before you this morning, that they serve you faithfully and well. To do this, they need your trust and support. If you are a member of the Westwood congregation, would you please rise now? I ask now of the members of Westwood, will you offer love and trust to your board, responding when they seek your will, showing up when they tell you that work needs to be shared, and listening carefully when they speak of the life of the community? If so, please respond, we will.
We will.
You may sit down. Turning to the board members, speaking to the board members, you have been elected by the members of the Westwood Unitarian Society at our annual meeting held last May. Do you freely arrive before us today, willing to commit yourselves to these roles of honor and accountability? Yes. Will you be diligent and faithful in your work, bringing your best selves, practicing self-care and open-heartedness, tending with love the details of the work, and always keeping the goal of beloved community in front of you as you serve? If so, please respond,
We will.
In Unitarian Universalist congregations, the authority to elect our leaders belongs to the membership. So if you are a member of the congregation, you're invited to join in reading the act of installation displayed on the screen. Carl's going to lead that, right? Carl's going to lead that?
No, you are. You are.
Okay. We call on you, whom we have elected, for this community we call Westwood. We install you as our leaders and give you the power to make decisions on behalf of the community. We ask you to use your wisdom, your abilities, and your understanding of our religious principles to guide your decision-making. We also remind you to keep us informed, to consult with us, to call on us as you see fit. Thank you for undertaking this work for our community. Now the members of the Board of Trustees will give Westwood their pledge.
With gratitude and a sense of responsibility, we accept the faith you have placed in us and pledge to carry out our duties to the best of our abilities. We shall honor the traditions which have made this place strong while remaining open to innovations and opportunities.
May the spirit of love guide you in the coming year. May a spirit of joy infuse the work in which you engage, and may your service bless the world. Amen, and may it be so. You may sit down.
I believe it's time for us to sing again. When our heart is in a holy place.
Rebecca and Brenda, would you please come forward? As president of Westwood's Board of Trustees, it's my privilege to honor those who have just retired from the board on July 1st and to acknowledge the transfer of responsibility and power to those of us who will carry on. So we will take a moment to give thanks to two members who are leaving the board, Rebecca Patterson and Brenda Niska-Arrow, for the care and hard work they have offered to this community and still continue to offer. We appreciate your efforts, Rebecca and Brenda, for the decisions you've made and the wisdom that you have shown on behalf of all of us. Because of your hard work and generosity, Westwood has continued to be a strong and vital community. Thank you. And then, I think there's on the screen. You have something you say, okay.
We accept your appreciation for our work, and we wish you, Westwood's new board, well as you pick up the torch of responsibility for the task of guiding this community of UUs through the next year. To you, we entrust the results of our time and energy these past years, and leave you with our support and good intentions. The job is now yours to do, but we will help as we can when the need arises.
Good. Thank you.
And so the torch has been passed. May this year bless all of Westwood as we move forward together in shared ministry.
These words are from Patricia Schutte. You and I and all of us blew about in the winds of summer,
Following the sun in different ways of freedom and play.
finding rest in the cool stillness of shadows, and moving to the slow, heat-struck rhythms which turned the long hours of summer light.
Now is the time for gathering in. We come together at this time and in this place on the bridge of autumn.
Summer is fading backwards into memory, and winter waits in snowy brilliance.
We meet with eagerness and delight, needing one another for sharing.
We have joys and sorrows and hopes to share, questions, things we care about and want to help make better.
Things we would like to understand, ideas waiting to be heard.
Today, we are together in gladness, once more the special community that we call Westwood.
A community that sings its songs, tells its thoughts, asks its questions, and searches together with courage and with love. Where have you been this summer? What have you been doing that brought sustenance to your personhood? Here at Westwood, it's our practice to gather water from places we go and from our homes to pour into our communal bowl when we return to Westwood in the fall, hence the name Water Communion. Other times, we do more than just pour water into that bowl. Sometimes we say a few things too. Actually, usually we say a few things too. And then there are times when we've forgotten our water at home or even forgot to collect it when we were away. And for those times, we have emergency water. You'll see it there in the little cups on the silver trays. Please help yourself as needed. People on Zoom, you can speak your words and we will add water on your behalf. I'm going to begin by pouring the water that remains from our last water communion. And then you may add your water when you're ready. If you'd like to speak, come on over here to the mic when you're done pouring.
there. This summer, Ivan and I spent some time in Winnipeg, and we did a lot of walking down by the Red and Assiniboine rivers and the fork where they joined, and that was a lovely trip. And then Ivan stayed a long time in Winnipeg helping the Red Cross to house the people who were evacuated due to the fires. So Winnipeg was a big part of our summer. And the other one I say every year, it's the Saskatchewan, it's the last mountain lake chain. And so I've put in virtual water from those two places where I spent lots of time sitting on the beach and sitting on a bench that we had installed on top of the valley so we can look over the lake, and it's a memorial bench to my parents, Bob and Ursula Patterson.
As most of you know, I don't travel anymore, but I'm at the church a lot and I garden. And this is water from the big rain barrel that Margaret donated and Mitch hooked up. And because it's the only place there's any water other than the hose. We haven't had any rain for a long, long time. And I've really enjoyed being in the garden this year, although I didn't get nearly as much done as I had hoped. But there's always next year.
Okay, so I brought water from my house because, as I'm sure everyone knows, I have a house, and the house has been consuming a huge amount of my time over the last year and over the summer. I've spent a lot of time fixing things on my house, so yeah, I brought water from my house because that has taken up most of my time for the summer and for the past year. But slowly, things are coming together. Slowly, slowly, slowly.
The water that I just poured in came off of our roof, so it's very local, rainwater. This summer, though, I had the great fortune, and it was an unexpected trip, I guess, to go to Germany and southern Poland with my son and my sister and other relatives who I met, some of whom I met for the first time. And I remember looking up at the sky, and the very odd time it would rain. I remember thinking, as the rain comes down over the lands in Poland, which was also, we visited the birthplace of my father, who was born there 100 years ago. But as the rain came down and was nourishing the plants and all the vegetation, I thought, it's the same rain that falls all around the world, right? And one drop that could have been falling could also have been a drop that would have fallen here and been recycled into the water cycle. My son, he's 29, but he really enjoys traveling, and he really enjoyed being able to touch the North Sea on the harbor, right next to the harbor where my parents had left initially as refugees, but then immigrants to come to Canada. And he also was able to reach down to touch the river mines. So those were big highlights for him. It rained usually at nighttime, so we had absolutely fantastic weather, but it rained at nighttime or when we were traveling in the car, so that was really good. The only time I remember getting wet was in a town called Erfurt, and we were still able to get cover underneath a bridge, which was about 1,000 years old. But the thing was, and I ended up taking a picture of it, it didn't rain. Like, it splashed blotches of water. I'd never seen anything like it. Like, normally when it rains, you see little drops on the ground, right? But no, these were splashes at least this big. Every drop that came down was like great big splash of water. So that was kind of interesting to experience.
This is water symbolically from Victoria. My sister and I had a lovely trip out there this summer, and I think we saw Victoria weather at its absolute prime. We had one day with a little rain, and I thought, oh yeah, that's actually a little more like the real thing. But the other days were just gorgeous, hot, sunny, beautiful weather. And I just loved being able to go and touch the ocean too, and sort of have that connection worldwide to the water. I did have one summer drenching. Went out for a walk with a friend, and we misjudged the clouds. We thought they'd cleared. They had not cleared. They were coming back. We got absolutely, totally drenched, and I haven't been drenched in years, decades maybe. So it was kind of fun in the long run. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sylvia, and this is the first time I'm, how do you say it, enjoying this water ritual. And what came to me, the water I brought is filtered water from my home. I drink it every day, and as I was sitting there and listening to everything about water, these 4 sentences came to me. I'm sure you all know them, and I'm going to sing them for you. It goes like this. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down to the river, by the river I feel whole. Cheers.
This represents water that I sat out and viewed and walked out into at Lake Manitoba, Delta Beach, where I spent about 4 days in, and it was delightful to see family and friends from around the Winnipeg and Portage area.
Go ahead, Jen. I'll pour for you.
All right. I visited family this summer, and we had a good time splashing around in a backyard pool and a local lake with my nephew, who is 6.
I got to do lots of camping this summer. I was at Kootenay Lake. We go there pretty much every year. I was at Pigeon Lake. That's the first time I've ever camped there. And we took our godson with us. He's 11. He'd never slept in a tent. He thinks it's great. He's 11. He's not 67. Yes, sleeping in a tent is great. And I went to Prairie Creek with my sister. And today, actually, and the water's not here, but I'm going to a Stoughton Lake for one last little hurrah of camping. Beyond camping, well, it was a wonderful summer of gardening and being with friends and family and doing the folk fest. Yeah, time to get back to a bit more of the real world, I guess.
I added some virtual water from the Athabasca River in Fort McMurray. A couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to revisit Fort McMurray. We had lived there for 22 years and had now lived here for 22 years. So it was really interesting to go back and see a community and how it had matured and developed over those 22 years.
Carl.
3 bits of water. Work was really busy, so lots of sweat. It's very hot up in attics in particular. Second is some tears of letting go of some things this summer. And the last is virtual water from the river that was running by Becker's Chalets out at Jasper. My family celebrated 30 years of getting together as a family in a pre-Thanksgiving, we call it Thanksgiving celebration. And it's been interesting to track. All the pictures are up. We take pictures every year, and all the pictures are up. And it's been very, very interesting to look at all the changes in the family and who's come and gone and grown up and not even there at the beginning and is there now. Those kinds of things. So it was a wonderful family time.
Hey, Carl, I'll pour some water for you.
This summer I was did not travel that far. I mostly biked, exploring the area here. We biked to St. Albert and Sherwood Park and Fort Saskatchewan and Cooking Lake. And the longest trip we had was from Leduc to Red Deer and back on the new, well, it's not so new now, the Canada Trail. So I have some water, and then my biggest trip is still to come. I hope next week to spend a week at Kettle Valley in BC, in the Penticton area on the old train pathways there. But I have some water here from Red Deer from my bike water. You always have water with you when you're biking. Thank you.
I'm an ecologist and I've worked all my life. Okay, a little slow. But that's okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm an ecologist. I worked in water all my life. And I understand a lot about it. And I'm glad it's here, because otherwise we wouldn't be. Bye now.
I'm Edda. This water is from my tap. I didn't do much traveling this summer. I went to Coyote Lake, which I enjoyed. And there's a beautiful lake there. And there's lots of water, but I did not get any water from there.
Good morning, my name's Pamela. This water represents the rain that we had at the Folk Fest this year. It rained often on Sunday all day long, and we got a little bit damp. And it also represents a couple of trips we had down to Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park with some friends. And it also represents the rain that happened on at my uncle's interment this year. We went to Ontario with my mom and my sister, and we had a great time. And yeah, it did rain a little bit, but then it stopped, and we all had a wonderful afternoon.
Help yourself to emergency water.
Oh, that's okay. I just had a thought after I had done the water. At the picnic that Westwood had at the Riverdale Community Hall, there was a bunch of kids on a water slide, like a really big hill, and there was a guy at the top with a hose, and kids were going down, like a lot of them. And I don't know what came over me, but I'd never done it before, but I just went over to the guy and said, "Can I do it?" And went down this humongous hill, and I was quite thrilled that I wasn't sore afterwards.
Imagine, if you will, that all our sustaining waters are blended together in this bowl, whether spoken aloud or held in our hearts, no matter. It's the water that we drink to stay alive, the water that feeds our food and our planet, the water we swim in, play on, rest beside. Whatever image you hold, imagine for a moment the essence of all these beautiful images gathered here in this one place. Please raise your arm in a gesture of blessing. Anyone, you don't have to be a member. And join me as we bless these communal waters. The blessings on the screen. All water is holy water, from the sky or from the sea. It's not holy because we pray over it. It's not holy because we gather it in a church. It is holy because it is the stuff of life, returning and cycling through plants and animals, oceans and streams, cells and seeds, again and again and again. May it be so. We'll take this water, we'll sterilize it, and we'll save it. And then we can use it during the coming year for any special ceremony we might have. And last year we didn't have a special ceremony where we used water, but I was ready. I knew where the water was, and I will know where the water is again this year. So if it comes up, we'll have the water for it. Okay, could we all join in singing Blue Boat Home? The lyrics are on the screen.
These are words from Starhawk. We are all longing to come home to some place, half remembered and half envisioned, one we may only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free, our blue boat home.
Pamela will extinguish our candle. And while we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And just before we end, I'd like to introduce our tech team at the back. We have a new technician, Julie Phillips. Hi, Julie. This was her very first full service, and I think it went really well. Thank you. And thank you to Hannah for helping train Julie, and for all the times Hannah was helping us as well. Thanks, guys. Thank you. There will be coffee, or there is coffee, and the board is having a meeting afterwards where we're going to meet with Margot Long, our consultant, who has been helping us figure out where can we go from here? What can we do to help this remain a vibrant and growing community?
And there is cake, so we brought cake today. Please have a piece.